Wednesday. Another gloomy day, thanks to Irma and her lingering storms. But honestly, I am really not minding the gloomy day. It's kind of relaxing. Let's get Wednesday on. Hey everybody and welcome to Wednesday. It's hump day, halfway through the week, halfway through another work week to get closer to the weekend. Which, this weekend after last weekend, no plans. We'll probably stay at home and do house chores. So let's talk about my arachnophobia. So over the weekend, if you watched my video from when I was out of town, I had a little run-in with a spider. Well, last night that happened again. But this time it was a little closer to home than I would prefer. Let's just say that I got up around 10 o'clock, 10:30. I was on the couch watching TV. I got up and I decided to get something to snack on and a drink while watching the show I was watching, and I noticed something in the corner that was not there before. Because as you guys know, I have a Roomba, and I run the Roomba every day for the most part, and I try to, clean and mop the floors at least once a day. Well, apparently between the time I cleaned the floors and the time that I sat down to watch TV, something happened. That something was a spider. A big brown spider. I don't know where it came from. I don't know how it got there. Well, I'm assuming it came from outside, and I would assume it got there by walking. But besides that fact, I don't know when it got there. It had been there long enough, and it was on the back of the couch. My couch, you've seen it before, it's kind of an L shape. The lounger part that sticks out is up against the wall and up against a grandfather clock and a lamp. And it had managed to build a web between the clock and the couch and the lamp. And it was just chilling there, and scary enough, it was a brown recluse spider. Now, I'm a terrible arachnophobic. I don't like seeing them. I don't like them being around me. There's only one or two types of spiders that don't bother me. One of those is granddaddy longlegs. I know, if you do your research, they're not really spiders. They're aphids, but they're creepy looking. But I don't mind cellar spiders either, because they don't really do anything. They just kind of hang out. They don't bite you. And they typically eat brown recluse spiders and black widows. So I don't mind having those in my basement. That does not bother me at all. Brown recluse, on the other hand, does. Brown recluse are very venomous, cause sickness, will rot parts of your flesh off, all these great side effects when you get bit by one, right? So imagine my surprise when I see one has built a nest right on my couch where I was laying. So, needless to say, this weekend will probably revolve around a deep cleaning of the house, checking for any cracks or crannies they could be coming in from or hiding in. The weather has turned chilly or cool outside. I do live in the middle of the woods, and I do have a bit of a field on one side of me in my yard. So they could be just cold, and it could have tried to find a warm place, and it found my house. So that could be what it is. But nonetheless, the deep cleaning this weekend will take place. I've already started cleaning today and doing some preliminary stuff. I'm going to redo the cat's room. I have a room just for the cats to play in, and when I'm working, I put them in there, and they have all their toys and food and litter box and everything in there. So yes, they have their own room. But I'm going to make sure I get in there and clean it out good as well. And what I'm going to do is probably next week call an exterminator. I cannot live with the idea that spiders like that are lurking in my house. I just can't. I can't do it. So that will be my project probably this weekend, is to get everything organized, everything cleaned up and ready to go, so that on Monday I can contact an exterminator and have him come out and debug and de-spider my house, because I can't deal with it. Although, I should have done this sooner in the year, because I do have wasps. Again, everybody living out in the country, we get them. This window on this side, right here, there's a small hole that is in the window frame, and they have built a nest in there. And there's a nest of them in the corner of the house as well. The front side of the house, where I typically frequent, like the deck and the gazebo area and things like that, with a hot tub, no wasp, not a problem. But on this side of the house, which is the back side of the house, they tend to frequent because nobody goes over there, so they're not bothered and they just fester and grow. So I should have called sooner because I should have probably got them taken care of as well, because I don't really care for wasps either. They don't really get into the house. They don't really bother me unless you go over there. Now, I did go over there a couple weeks ago, actually a month or so ago, when the water pipe broke, which is outside this window. And I went out there, and the wasps were out there, and they were like, whoa, what's going on? And they were like, oh, and they started swarming. Oh my gosh. I ran fast because I did not want to get stung. I have been stung several times. I usually get stung at least once a year by a wasp. I've already had my one sting this year. It happened a while back on my foot, so I don't want to have this happen again this year. So, exterminator time. I can't deal with spiders in my house. I can handle wasps outside. I can handle, cellar spiders. This has got to go. I can't deal with that. I can't sleep good. I'm afraid to lay on the couch because I don't know what could be lurking in the shadows. It's time to kill some bugs. So I've returned to the scene of the crime from last night's incident. It was living right there where my foot's pointing. It had built a little nest right between the couch and the lamp and the grandfather clock. And yeah, it was quite terrifying. I really wasn't sure what to think about it. I mean, as you can see, that's where it was. That's where I was. So it was that close. And that's frightening to me. Alright guys, well the day is over. It was really very busy and productive. A lot of problems came up that I didn't expect, both with my computer and other things, so I've just been swamped. I apologize. I've got dinner on the oven, or on the stove. I just started cooking, so I'm going to eat soon. I was hungry because I'm trying to, like I said, eat a little healthier. And yeah, so eating healthier doesn't always mean a lot. And so I try not to eat too much or snack too much throughout the day. So there's that. So I'm fixing to eat dinner. I'm starved and I'm going to enjoy my evening. Probably watch some more TV. I did not watch American Horror Story last night. A lot of things came up afterwards and I ended up just watching Cheers. If you've never seen Cheers, it's an old show back from the 80s. It takes place in a bar. It's on Netflix right now, the whole series. So I just started watching it because I had been watching Will and Grace. But I don't know, I just swapped for whatever reason. Cheers is actually funny. I watched it when I was a kid. Like when I was a kid. And I didn't get a lot of the jokes then. I just watched it because it was what was on television. But now as an adult, I understand the humor a little more. And it's actually quite funny. So I'm definitely going to give that a more watch and see if I can't get through a couple more episodes tonight. Probably. Anyway, I apologize again for it being short, but I'm calling this day a done deal. I will see you guys on the other side. Till tomorrow.